Welcome back to the channel. Today is one of those days where crypto feels like it's standing at a crossroads. We've got Bitcoin surging back above $113,000 off the back of US jobs data that caught the market by surprise. We've got Ethereum, Solana, and XRP showing hints of life after a few shaky weeks, raising the question of whether the altcoin season might be stirring beneath the surface. XRP sentiment is off the charts, literally topping the rankings of all major assets being tracked, outshining even Bitcoin and Ethereum in investor enthusiasm. But at the same time, we've got a very different kind of headline. Researchers demonstrating a quantum computer attack that cracks cryptographic keys, not quite Bitcoin's level yet, but enough to remind everyone that the ticking clock of quantum threat is very real. Add to that a new SportFi project, Runwago, announcing its token generation event, sparking chatter about whether a sustainable run-to-earn economy can capture attention in the current market. And looming over it all, the collapse of WLFI, the Trump-linked World Liberty Financial Token, which has lost more than 60% of its value and is threatening to drag down investors who piled in early. If that wasn't enough, we're also seeing scams rise as Bitcoin pushes new highs, proof that whenever money floods in, the sharks circle. So stick around, because by the end of this update, you'll not only know the latest numbers, but the deeper stories shaping the market, the risks, the opportunities, and the future threats that we can't afford to ignore. Let's set the stage first with a quick rundown of the top 10 coins. Bitcoin is trading in the 113,000 range, climbing hard off that soft US jobs report. Ethereum is sitting near $4,330, down a touch on the day but still holding firm after a volatile week. BNB remains solid in the high 800s, seemingly bulletproof in the face of ongoing regulatory noise. XRP is steady at $2.81, calm on the surface, but backed by soaring community sentiment. Tether holds its peg at $1 as it always does, the bedrock of stablecoin liquidity. Solana trades between $203 and $206, buoyed by whispers of institutional accumulation and confidence in the Fire Dancer upgrade. USD Coin is likewise stable at $1, quietly building trust in the institutional camp. Dogecoin lingers in the mid-20-cent range, still moving more on memes and Musk than fundamentals. Cardano trades just under 82 cents, slowly but steadily building out its ecosystem, even if the price action doesn't reflect it yet. And Tron holds near 35 cents, proving resilient even while its founders' other ventures stir up drama. That's your snapshot of the leaders. Now let's dive deeper into the stories that matter. Bitcoin is the clear headline. A softer-than-expected US jobs report showed just 22,000 new hires in August, far below expectations. For traditional markets, that hinted at economic cooling. For crypto, it screamed one thing: rate cuts are coming. Traders immediately started pricing in a more dovish Federal Reserve path, and Bitcoin surged as risk appetite returned. It pushed to a one-week high of $112,423, and then consolidated above $113,000. What's fascinating is not just the move itself, but the timing. September has historically been a red month for Bitcoin, averaging a decline of around 3.5%. But here we are, barely into September, and the market is pushing higher on macro data. If that resistance at 115,000 breaks, we could be staring at the setup for a year-end rally far stronger than many had predicted. On the other hand, analysts warn that the options expiry pressure and lingering ETF outflows could keep Bitcoin pinned in a range. The tug of war between macro optimism and structural flows will decide the next leg, but one thing is certain: Bitcoin has reminded everyone why it's called the market leader. While Bitcoin grabs the headline, the altcoins are starting to stir. Ethereum is still below 4,500, but its fundamentals are flashing signals of strength. On Binance, exchange supply of ETH has been dropping, meaning coins are flowing into cold storage or staking rather than being positioned for sale. That historically sets up bullish runs, because selling pressure is reduced. Over the past month, Ethereum is up 22%. And while this week's pullback raised eyebrows, many see it as a pause before another surge. Solana, too, has impressed, climbing 26% in August and maintaining a firm hold around $200. Institutional wallets have been spotted accumulating, and with Firedancer on the horizon promising vast scalability improvements, optimism is real. If Solana can clear the 220 mark, the charts open up toward 250 and beyond. XRP is the third in this altcoin trio. While the price sits flat at 281, sentiment data tells another story. Out of 56 tracked assets, XRP scored 87 out of 100 in composite sentiment, edging out both Bitcoin and Ethereum. That matters because when retail confidence aligns with community strength, XRP tends to move explosively. With its legal overhangs mostly cleared and its community energized, XRP may be setting up for one of those trademark surges. But while we talk about optimism, we also have to talk about risk. And today, it comes from the world of quantum computing. Researchers using IBM's 133-qubit quantum processor have managed to crack an elliptic curve cryptographic key. Now, to be clear, this is not Bitcoin's level of 256-bit elliptic curve yet. But it is a proof of concept, a demonstration that the tools to eventually threaten Bitcoin's cryptography are advancing faster than many expected. For years, quantum threat was treated as science fiction, a problem for the distant future. Now it feels closer. Developers are already accelerating research into post-quantum cryptography. But the reality is clear. It's no longer a question of if, it's a question of when. For long-term holders, it's a sobering reminder that the technology underpinning Bitcoin, while robust today, may need reinforcement tomorrow. Meanwhile, in the world of new projects, Runwago has announced its token generation event for September 18th. Branding itself as the first truly sustainable run-to-earn project, it combines SportFi mechanics with partnerships with Garmin and Moon5 Labs. Unlike earlier run-to-earn fads that collapsed under inflationary token models, Runwago claims to have a capped supply, balanced burn mechanics, and real utility through fitness integrations. The initial market cap is modest, which has speculators buzzing that if adoption sticks, upside could be significant. Of course, these are early days, and we've seen countless move-to-earn projects flame out. But the fact that Runwago has brand partnerships out of the gate gives it credibility others lacked. September 18th is circled on the calendar for those chasing the next narrative. Not every story is positive. WLFI, the Trump-linked World Liberty Financial Token, has collapsed over 60% from its highs, now trading near 18 cents. On-chain data shows more than $23 million worth of tokens being dumped onto exchanges, crushing confidence. Holders are panicking, and if 18 cents doesn't hold, the next supports are down at 16 and 15 cents. It's a brutal reminder that political branding and hype do not guarantee sustainability. For those who piled in early, the pain is real. For the market, it's another cautionary tale of how quickly speculative narratives can implode. And while all this is happening, we're seeing another predictable trend. Scams are on the rise. TechRadar has reported that as Bitcoin pushes record highs, scam activity is ramping up. Fake wallet apps, phishing sites, rug pulls, all the usual suspects, but amplified. It's the same pattern every cycle. When mainstream attention returns, the scammers return with it, knowing retail is back in the game. It's a reminder to double-check links, use hardware wallets, and never trust too good to be true offers. The higher the market goes, the louder the noise from bad actors. So let's step back and look at the bigger picture. Bitcoin has flipped the script on September so far, rallying on macro data and holding above 113,000. Ethereum, Solana, and XRP are showing the early signs of altcoin momentum. XRP's sentiment is through the roof, hinting at community-driven upside. Quantum computing breakthroughs are forcing the community to plan for a future where today's cryptography may no longer be enough. New projects like Runwago are chasing the SportFi narrative with claims of sustainability. WLFI is collapsing, a reminder that hype without substance ends badly. And scammers are circling, proving that whenever money flows in, so do opportunists. This is the crypto market in a nutshell. Opportunity, risk, innovation, hype, and threat, all colliding in real time. That's where we stand today. The next week will tell us if Bitcoin can clear that 115,000 resistance, if Ethereum can break back toward 4,500, if Solana's momentum carries it higher, and if XRP's community energy translates into price action. At the same time, developers must continue preparing for the quantum era, investors must stay alert for scams, and speculators will be watching Runwago's launch and WLFI's collapse for lessons on the difference between narratives that stick and narratives that fail. Keep your crypto secure. Ledger link is at the top of the description, and drop your thoughts below. Do you think Bitcoin smashes through 115,000, or do you see a pullback ahead? Will XRP finally make its breakout, or is sentiment running ahead of price? And are projects like Runwago the future of SportFi, or just another flash in the pan? Smash like, hit follow, and as always, we will see you at the top.